Hello everyone, and welcome to Max Carroll. So today we've got some more WWE news, this time with some WrestleMania prediction for the showcase of the Immortals. Remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Remember to stay cool. Let's get into it. So, regardless of how many people are not in the stands, the criticism surrounding WWE WrestleMania 36 because of the coronavirus pandemic or the substitutions forced to get out of the card for any number of reasons, there will be an feeling on Saturday and Sunday like no other for the star ratings following Saturday and Sundays of the showcase of the Immortals. As sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, internet fans will flock to the web to find out what and so rank their favourite match on the card. Then spend hours debating whether that was right decision or the wrong decision. Well, anyway, this year's WrestleMania is jam-packed with industry giant matches and great potential to deliver a huge on the sports demand most potential night. How many stars can fans accept to be thrown around in the wake of the main event? So let's get on to the first prediction of the night. The first prediction is between Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, the Kabuki Warriors, for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championship. On the surface, Alexa Bliss is the weak link of the women's title match, but Little Miss Bliss has shown low-key development into a very talented babyface worker on her contributions to the match, particularly as the competitor forced to fight underneath, with help with the overall quality of the match. Significantly, Cross and Asuka, the scene and celebrated in-ring workers for a reason. Their efforts in NXT are extraordinary, and their works on the main roster has helped hold any match they have together. What appears to be the match thrown about just to give all workers something to do on that card is very pleasant, which, however, would take right place at WrestleMania. So, who do I think will win this match? I've got to give the win to my favourite women's division character, which is the goddess of WWE, Alexa Bliss, and her best friend, Nikki Cross. And the next match is Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. This makes no sense about it. Dolph Ziggler has his first WrestleMania singles match after 14 years with the company, is going on to bust his ass to make his match with Otis one of the most best storylines in the Red Hot feud. He will bump it all over the ring to put on the match. The big man offense and will be the slimy heel's best controlling match. Would have been saw better in front of an audience for the performers to feed off, as we saw back on March 8th at the Elimination Chamber. Sure, but Ziggler and Otis will work their magic, and that'll ensure that the match meets their lofty expectation by the superb bit of storytelling that has preceded. The only executed and criticizing will be the time. Now, who do I think will win that match? I think Dolph Ziggler should win this match. I think the show-off, Dolph Ziggler, will win this match. And the next prediction on this card is Aleister Black versus the almighty Bobby Lashley. The question is surrounding WrestleMania, and Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley's match at WrestleMania is just the offense. The heel will be allowed to get in. The match is zero build outside Black's seconds-long squash match wins over enhancement competitors. With that in mind, if this feels more like an excuse to put Black over on the grandest stage, if this is allowed to be a competitive match, a solid, if unspectacular contest should be expected. Given Lashley's relatively star power, that seems he is more likely retain the match. Who do I think will win this match? I think Bobby Lashley should get the win here. Bobby Lashley is a great competitor in and out of the ring, so I think he should get the win. And the next prediction we'll be doing will be King Corbin versus Elias. This match between Elias and King Corbin benefited exponentially from an angle on the March 27th episode of Friday Night SmackDown, during which the latter sent his WrestleMania opponent crashing to the arena floor from a platform some 10 feet above. That angle may help the intensity of the match, but with no real build or anything like that, this could be a song disaster and the King could work together, and it seems destined. But after the thought and the undercard expedition, this shouldn't be overly high. But who should win? I'm going to give it to King Corbin, or Baron Corbin, whatever you want to call him. And the next prediction will be Raw Tag Team Title Match for the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. The Street Profits are an explosive, energetic and charismatic tag team whose abilities have been on full display against teams like NXT, the Undisputed Era, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and the Forgotten Sons, and Raw, Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, and Angel Garza has risen to the performer on Monday Night Raw from NXT and 205 Live due to his superb in-ring performances. Then there's Austin Theory, who works in Evolve, being himself one of the brightest young stars in the industry, and a Paul Heyman wrestler. Choose his spot. 4 hungry, young, and determined stars fighting in their first WrestleMania with tag team at stake. Expect them to deliver a pleasant of this wonderful matches in the entire event. So who do I think should win? I'll go with the Street Profits should win this match. Now let's get on to the next prediction, guys. It'll be the New Day versus the Usos versus John Morrison and The Miz for the ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. As reported by Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com, The Miz will not compete at WrestleMania due to his illness, a development that will most likely be addressed on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown. While we do not know what this means for the advertised ladder match for the Blue Brands Tag Team Championship, originally slated to put Miz and Morrison against the Usos and New Day, to sheer amount of talent involved allows for the guess and the estimation, the start for the star rating, the creativity of the stars and their experience in similar matches, and the chemistry they all have demonstrated in previous encounters makes anything less above in their above strategy an unlikely affair. Well, I think I'll give this win to The Miz and John Morrison. The next prediction we have up for you guys is the Intercontinental Championship match. It is Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. Take 2 of the best wrestlers on the planet, give them one of the most convincing storylines and the storied championship in the industry to fight over, and let them do their stuff in the ring. This essential story behind Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn's match, with a little bit of Drew Gulak and the artist collectively throw it together and you make this happen. Bryan has been on the stage before, even headlined WrestleMania 30, but Zayn has yet to be in a significant singles match at the main event, with a rare opportunity to remind fans why he is considered one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Look for Zayn to throw everything he has at Sami Zayn. And the canvas is an attempt to make a thrisky arts with Bryan. If is given enough time to produce this match, the capability of each competitor, this could be the best match on the entire card. I think I'm going to give the win to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan can make a good win and be a good and great Intercontinental Champion. That's what I think. So the next match will be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens, despite high-profile matches on prior WrestleMania card, has not yet had the classic and defining match of the shoes. Seth Rollins, his opponent at this year's extravaganza, reminds him and the WWE Universe of the suck 2 weeks ago on Raw. Look here for that to change, while much will depend on the time given to the workers. Owens and Rollins have been in a big match spots before and delivered with them in back roles with better suits, skills, and the alternative storylines which expects the style of their matches to clash. So who do I think will win? I'm going to give it to Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens will win this match. And that is my prediction for the Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens match. So the next prediction on the card is NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Championship. Charlotte Flair has become a measuring stick in the in-ring performance at WrestleMania. Throughout her career, she has risen to the moment and delivered shoe stealing after shoe stealer. Her matches like of the Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Ronda Rousey had nothing short of spectacular and should not change when she battles Rhea Ripley for the NXT Championship. Of course, the match quality will depend on Ripley's performance and whether she can match Flair's determination to have a great match. Based on what she is able to accomplish against the likes of Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler, there's no reason why you believe that she would not. So who do I think should win this match? Charlotte Flair. I think the Queen of Queens should win this match. She is known as Charlotte Flair. So who do I think should win this next match? The fatal 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Despite Bayley's talent as a worker and her efforts to her fellow SmackDown superstars, the Blue Brand's women's division has not exactly been on a roll when it comes to delivering high-quality matches. Now, thrown into a cluster of competitors and in a storyline that will likely take on a greater meaning to the bout than it can actually do in the actual in-ring work. The result of Bayley will be a better match than expected, thanks in part to effort to Bayley and Banks in particular, but still not something we can hold our hands up and say this will be one of the best matches on the card or anything. But who do I think will win? I think either Sasha Banks or Bayley. I think I'm going to go with Bayley will retain. I think Bayley will retain her gold. So, who do I think will win the Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler? Well, the match between Becky Lynch and Baszler is going to be one of either two ways. Either the Queen of Spades steamrolls Lynch just like she did to her 5 opponents at the Elimination Chamber, or the badass and red branded has a submission-based match that's seen each target a limb on their opponent. Either way, it's not going to be like the spot-heavy match we saw last year from Lynch, Rousey, and Flair. Instead, it'll be a slower, more methodical, and steady-paced match. What does this mean for the rating of the overall match quality? Well, if done correctly, we could get a repeat of the Lynch's superb Royal Rumble match with Asuka. If it gets too bowed down, it could be presenting Baszler in the same manner as she has been up to this point. It could kill the momentum of the story. But who do I think will win overall? I think Becky Lynch will win this match and retain her Raw Women's Championship. So, the next match I'll be predicting will be the last man standing match between Edge and Randy Orton. Anything less than 4 stars will do a great disservice to what has been one of the all-time great builds to a WrestleMania match. Edge and Randy Orton have put together an intense personal story that deserves a violent, physical, hard-hitting conclusion on the WrestleMania's most significant night. It should be a nonsense battle in the same vein of Edge versus Mick Foley from WrestleMania 22. It was like Orton's nicknamed the Hardcore Legend in 2 promos a week earlier. Perhaps he'll have a throwback to both Edge's battles with the Hall of Famer. If that's the case, we can expect a total appropriate match that pays off in the investments of fans and superstars alike that made in this program. Now, who do I think will win? I think Edge is going to come out on top and defeat Randy Orton in this match. Let's get on to the next prediction. And the next prediction will be the Fire, Fun, Heist match between John Cena and the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Had John Cena and the Fiend been able to have a story-heavy play-out in front of a live audience, their contest would have been rivaled to the quality of their first match back at WrestleMania 30. Unfortunately, the criticism and around the event led to the decision to book what made more me like a cinematic production inside the Fire Fun House. Taking away into consideration it's a match, it would be tough to rate. Well, I think John Cena will come out on top and beat Bray Wyatt. So the next match will be a boneyard match between the Undertaker and AJ Styles. Like Cena versus Wyatt, expect a cinematic match that features theoretically more than traditional wrestling and brawling, still with a hotter storyline and more personal edge. Expect a better Undertaker and the constantly excellent AJ Styles. There will be bells and whistles from it from Carl Anderson to Luke Gallows involved in it for no reason, covering up the fact that the dead man is not a performer he once was, and he really knows that. The Earnty, referenced by The Undertaker on the March 30th episode of the Raw, will inhale. What do we know about this big storyline? Both performers tend to break out their best matches on the best night, and the result should be a fun and entertaining war nonetheless. And I think the dead man, the one from Death Valley, The Undertaker, will win this match. So the next match will be WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has made a clear way in his path, and he's sold Drew McIntyre since the Royal Rumble that he sees as a Scot, as someone worth battling him at WrestleMania. He has worked hard to help the Scottish psychopath find credibility as a main eventer, and that should continue Saturday or Sunday night. Expect a hard-hitting, incredible physical match in the same vein as Lesnar and Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman had, and unlike those incidents, expect a much better narrated to go along with it all. If Lesnar does not complete and pick McIntyre apart through the match, only for the Royal Rumble winner to get lucky and win in the end for the first time in years. Expect a main event that fans will talk about to years to come, not to be a malfunction historic significant, but because it was a kick-ass wrestling match. Two big, nasty, championship-worthy gladiators, and I think the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre will win this match against the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. So the next match we'll be predicting is Universal Championship match, Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, actually Braun Strowman. So, there have been a change to this match. Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet reported Roman Reigns would not be competing at WrestleMania over his health concerns based on his immune system compromised by battling leukemia. Confirmed as much as in an Instagram post while Dave Meltzer of The Observer Wrestling Radio. Braun Strowman would replace the big dog. Goldberg versus Reigns would apparently be more spectacular than a sprint of the contest of Spears versus Spears. near falls, and explosive finish that would have awarded the big dog the title that he never really lost. With Strowman in his place, much the same can expected, only the spears, like heavy strikes match between the two intense heavyweights. It is to be expected. Do not think for a moment that this match will turn into a double digit or something underrated classic. It could come to one of that. The winner still remains a mystery in the booking changes. But who do I think will win this match? I think Goldberg will retain and win this match. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to like this video, leave a comment and subscribe for more. At the Maximaniac, our like goal for this video was 10 likes, and we want to hit by the end of the year 1,000 subscribers. Guys, this was just a wee bit of a longer video, but that's the way things go sometimes. Thank you very much for watching this video. And remember to check out all my other videos, like CM Punk is returning to WWE after WrestleMania, and you ice cream bars, and more. Remember, stay cool.